All right, let's talk about our daily reminder. So, what are we talking about? We're talking about actions that reflect this new identity, you being at your best, ultra being present and attentive to your goals and those things that you've prioritized. So, that means like right now, where I'm creating this video, it's the beginning of the year 2021. And in the future, it'll seem like, wow, that was so long ago. But the principle and the practice still works. So, to give a quick example, and this can be done a number of different ways. These are just yellow stickies, right? So, like the 3M notes. And on each one, I've written one particular goal that's a specialized outcome. So, what I mean is, it's not just a goal I want to achieve this week, but it's going to reflect the new year, that this is something that I've accomplished. And it's really for me getting to the next stage of my evolution or development. So, I'm looking at evolving my consciousness, and some things that are important to me to get done or to have realized, completed, are reflected here. So I want to go into my own goals, but this is just one exercise that you could do. It could be done on index cards or just using an online journal, for instance. But you do want to make it visible so that you have a daily reminder. Now, it has to be a habit to take a look at it. Now, I could have this all cluttered up with 100 different sticky notes. In my goals journal, I could write like 1,000 goals. You have to pare them down. And how you do that basically is decide for yourself what's most valuable, important for you. And in that way, you structure it and say, well, this is what I'd like to accomplish this year. So imagine yourself in the future having accomplished this, and also the year having passed, time has moved forward. You can reflect on how you accomplished the goal. It's an imagination exercise. Obviously, I haven't accomplished these yet, but this is my goal. This is my desire. So as I'm serious about it, I want to be able to create a plan of action. I call it P2E2. So one is you have to have a plan. I've identified my priorities. These are my goals. And again, not going into them, I need to create a plan for them. And they could relate to each other, they can support each other. They might be very distinct as far as the day and time I'm going to work on them as far as my routine, but at least starting off the morning. So when I get up, I'll pass by this wall. This could be in my office or bedroom, in the bathroom on the mirror. And I make a habit to actually look at them and seriously consider them. They're reminders, because so oftentimes we may write down goals and be very serious about them, but as time moves on, our focus goes elsewhere, either because we're distracted or become low momentum, or just because we weren't concentrating, we weren't thinking about them. So having them available in a place where I can sort of look at them and be reminded is going to go a long way towards achieving them. So, what? Are we recording? Okay, good. So having your goals visible. And if you have the habit, the routine of using a goals journal, we have a goal activator. You can go to successclub.org and download it for free. And you can use different prompts like this. Some people will put it by the mirrors. Oftentimes there's affirmations. Affirmations can support the goal that you either accomplish them or put yourself into the state of mind and physiology. So having a bit of a routine every morning to kick things off, which could involve stretching, contemplation, meditation, writing down the goals, reviewing things. Now we're talking about really kind of early morning, because otherwise when you're up and at them, you're actually accomplishing them rather than imagining them, right? Jim Rohn often talked about, don't start your day by asking, what am I going to do today? Well, it might be a good question to ask. It's kind of late, right? Because the day's already started. Where someone who's focused on this is already accomplishing them and has been very productive in their morning, kicking the day off, right? A great way to start your day is having a great morning, right? So one thing I want to reflect on this, just like you can do with your having index cards, you could, of course, have them in your pocket and carry them with you. But as they are sticky notes, one thing I can do is I can focus on them, and I necessarily wouldn't have to pin it on me. If you grew up in Chicago, you might remember Ray Rayner. He used to pin, this is before sticky notes, his routine or reminders, prompts for his show, like, oh, time for a Bugs Bunny cartoon. So in my case, I can prioritize and I can kind of create more like a pyramid structure. So I could start this as a day part, as a routine, like this is what I do in the morning, this is what I do midday, or it just could be what I need to get done today. Whatever works for you. Now, I don't have to be wasteful with these papers. This, again, is reflecting my whole year. But you can look at something that helps prompt you as a reminder what you do with that goal. So, of course, it reminds you that you have the goal, But what's the next step? That's an important question. So what's next is an important consideration because it's what you're moving towards. I call stage by step. People talk step by step, yes, but what happens after you get to so many steps? You're at the next level in this, if it's your stairs or your elevator going up. So you want to get to the next floor, next plane of your endeavor. So depending on what it is you have to get done, it now takes you to the next level. So you want to be prepared, and that's the second P to the P2E2. One is you have to have a plan, right? Actually, number one is really you got to know your priorities, and then you have a plan to achieve them. But let's talking about being in action here. You need to prepare your plan. It's great you have a plan, but are you prepared to get into action? Do you have all your resources, the contacts, the things you need to have financially, or sort of clarity of thought and what the plans are for you to move forward? Like, what is the plan? And how do you prepare that element of the plan, which might be the next stage that you have to get ready? Oops, there you go, accomplished it already. So having that kind of attitude and being able to maneuver. So P2E2, having a plan, preparing the plan, and the E is really extending yourself and getting into action where you're executing. And then you want to evaluate. How am I doing? And that could be at the end of the day, weekly, monthly, particularly in the Success Club routine when we have our monthly goal-getting meetings. It's a reflection on how much progress we've made and what we have prepared and planned for the next month. And so you come back, you have some accountability, you report on your progress, and you take it from there. All right, well, I hope that was inspiring, at least some thought in mind that you have some kind of daily routine, but also reminders so you keep focused, you're in tune, and, making it happen. All right, Mike Rich, also known as Jivan Mukti, present to you, successclub.org, New You Success. Check out the newyearwebinar.com as well. Thanks.